Have you ever wondered how a tall tree like this one can transport water all the way from its root to the very top leaf? It seems like almost magical, doesn't it? Okay, so today we are going to explore how does water and mineral salt movement in plant, which is in chapter 4, subtopic 4.2, transport of water and mineral salts. Before we move to our lesson, let's check out our learning standard for today's video, which is describe factors involved in the pathway of water and mineral salt from soil to shoot in root pressure, capillary action, and transpirational pull. Students, do you know that water is very important to the growth of plant? Why? Because water helps to move mineral salt from the soil to the stem and leaves. Other than that, water also helps in giving turgidity to plant cells so that the plants remain fresh. So, how does the water and mineral salts move from the soil to the leaf? The movement of water are helped by three factors, which are root pressure, capillary action, and transpirational pull. Let's take a look at this video. So from the xylem cells of roots, stems, and leaf are all interconnected to form a conducting channel that reach all parts of the plant bodies. Moreover, in plant, water will move from high water potential to low water potential. In simpler terms, water moves from where there is more water to where there is less water. Let's look roughly into overview of these three factors. Firstly, the root pressure. Root pressure moves the water from the soil into the xylem vessels of the root through the process called osmosis. Remember the keyword osmosis. Next, a capillary action, which water moving up the stem. Capillary action is produced from adhesion and cohesion force of water molecule, which moves the water upwards the stem against the gravity. And lastly, transpirational pull, which is the strongest one that able to suck up water no matter how tall the plant is. So transpirational pull is produced when water that is evaporated from the stomach pulls water from leaves. Do you understand what does it mean? Let me give you example for transpirational pull. When the temperature is high or in a hot day, you'll find that the water will evaporate very easily from the leaf. So, because of the continuous loss of water take place due to the transpiration, therefore, this transpirational pull will cause the water to be sucked up to replace the water that is lost, and the process is continuous according to opening and closing of stomata. So, some of you must be wondering why plant does not close the stomata. Stomata are surrounded by two specialized cells called guard cells. So, the opening and closing of stomata is important for photosynthesis and respiration of the plant. Now, we will look at the detail of how does water move from the soil into the xylem vessels, which is the root pressure. So firstly, the water potential in the root hair cells is lower compared to water in the soil. So please remember that high water potential means that there is more water and less solutes like salts, while low water potential is less water and high solutes. So this means that in root, it have less water and more salts, while condition in soil has more water and less salts. These root hair cells have low water potential compared to the soil because the mineral ion are actively pumped by the root hair cells into the vacuole. Next, please remember earlier we learned that the water will move from high water potential to the low water potential. Water from the soil that has high water potential will diffuse into the root hair cells and epidermal cells that has low water potential via osmosis. Now, because there is difference in concentration of water, where now cortex has low water and epidermis has high water potential, therefore again this water is going to be transferred into the next part. So the high water potential in root hair cells causes the water to diffuse from the root hair cells into cortex via osmosis. This condition will cause osmosis to continuously occur throughout the cortex, endodermis layer, and pericycle layers. And lastly, this causes root pressure to push water into xylem vessels of the root and then into xylem vessels of the stem. Okay, next, how does water move into the xylem vessels of stem and leaves? So let's take a look at the water movement in xylem vessels of the stem first. For tall plant, root pressure cannot transport water to the leaves, especially the shoots. Therefore, the movement of water molecule in xylem vessels is helped by the capillary action of xylem, which produced by adhesion and cohesion forces and also transpirational pull. Therefore, the adhesion and cohesion forces produce a pulling force which continuously move the water in the xylem vessels. So, this adhesion and cohesion causes the capillary action which water is not easily break and drop because of the force here. Lastly, we have water movement in xylem vessels of the leaves. When transpiration process happen, water will diffuse out as water vapor between the cells to the surrounding through open stoma. Inside the leaf, there are spongy mesophyll cells that holds water. When water vapor leaves through the stoma, these cells lose some of their water, making them low water potential. So because of the low water potential, water molecules from the neighborhood cells will diffuse via spongy mesophyll cells by osmosis. So this movement will produce a force called transpirational pulse that pulls water molecule in the xylem vessels of the leaf to the outside of the leaf. Do you understand, students? Okay, before we end our lesson, let's do some quiz to reinforce your knowledge learned. Let's summarize what we have learned today. So today we have learned about how water and mineral salts make their way from soil to the shoots of a plant. So In conclusion, the transport of water and mineral salts in plant is a complex but beautifully coordinated process. This process is essential for plant survival, growth, and the process is powered by three key mechanisms, which is the root pressure, capillary action, and transversional pull. So the root pressure pushes the water from the soil into the root through osmosis, while capillary action moves water up the stem through adhesive and cohesive forces. And lastly, transversional pull draws water up to the leaf through evaporation from stoma. So these mechanisms work together seamlessly to ensure that water and mineral salt reach every part of the plant. So, just like plants transport water and mineral salt through their stem to grow strong, our lives also thrive when we combine our skills and work together. So remember to always embrace the power of collaboration and determination to achieve growth and success in life. So that is all for our today's lesson. Bye students!